everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session episode number 602. We are that podcast talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I am Mako-chan.
Ari is off tonight. He's working overnight, so he will be back with us next week. So there's that. Mako, you sound quite lovely tonight.
Yes, thank you. I have inherited a new microphone.
Yes. And you've probably, for those of you who've been following this show since day one, you know we've had issues with microphones and volumes and stuff. So, long story short, my AT2020, which was recommended to me by Holly Segara, a popular voice actress, also my little sister, quote unquote, he recommended that microphone. I've been using it for years. I upgraded to the AT2035, and I gave Mako the 2020. So everything is working as planned, you know? All right, hold on. They're saying the volume is a little low on my end, so let me boost it just a scotch. So that should work. Thankfully, on here, I can either increase the mic volume from console here or from the software. So if that better, okay. So you know what? I am going to bring up to about here. So that should work. If it's a little bit too loud, please let me know. So, you know. Also, I just had to reboot and clear things out. So we should be golden. Okay? So, anywho, let's kind of get show on the road tonight. Because we got stuff to talk about.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah. So, Maka, how are you doing tonight?
I am freaking tired.
Go on.
No, after dealing with, the issues from last week, with Damien being sick. Damien is feeling much better now, so
that's good.
I'm very happy about that. No more coughing. He got to have 2 needles stuck in his butt. He got a steroid injection and a antibiotic. So both are working wonders. And I talked to the vet to see what can potentially be done so that maybe next year, when the seasons are changing, he doesn't get sick again. So probably sometime in the late fall or late winter, I will have to go and get a topical steroid for him. That I can rub on the inside of his ears, and that should help to keep his airways clear when there's allergens in the air.
That's good.
Hopefully.
That's good. Well, as for me, things are okay. Mind you, I'm staring at like maybe almost 3 weeks worth of laundry that has to be done. So thankfully, my underclothes are done. I took them to the laundromat. When it comes to my normal clothes, I don't trust anybody else to wash them except for me, because if I let somebody else wash it and one of my shirts shrink, I'm not going to be a happy camper. It already happened once, so I'm looking at it like I'm going to have to lose at least 20 pounds so I can properly wear this shirt. So, anywho. We are live tonight, week of August 22nd, 2023, right here on Twitch TV. We're always live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern, unless something happens, and we'll let you know. You can always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session, and we're proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com, and they're also on Twitch. You can find them at Twitch TV/VOG Network. They kick things off on Sundays at 8 p.m. with the Bobby Blackwolf Show, followed by Orange Lounge Radio at 9. And I'm just gonna let y'all know of a little programming note. There will be no shows September Sunday September 3rd. VogCon is happening, aka DragonCon. So the Sunday crew will be all having a good time. So maybe I'll jump on stream and just stream myself playing an anime game or something. So we'll see what happens. So
Reminds me, are we going to be live that Tuesday?
Probably. Why? Do you have plans to do stuff?
No, I just, because of the holiday, I didn't know if you were still gonna have. I mean, I know the holiday is Monday, but I didn't know if you were planning on taking off for the.
I actually had plans to go out, to go visit a friend, but they never got back to me, so I canceled that. So I'm probably gonna reach out to another friend. I'm supposed to be building her PC. I'm just waiting for her to send me the last $200 so that I can buy the video card and all the white cabling to go inside and make it look nice and neat. And we're supposed to go to IKEA and get furniture and stuff. So I'll probably will ping her about that and be like, let's kind of figure some shit out. So anyhow, enough about that. Let's kind of continue on here because damn, it's already been 5 minutes. We've derailed. So don't forget, we have a Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Come through, hang out. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has a channel, so come hang out. So yeah, and you'll learn stuff like I didn't know that Peter Cullen was the original voice of Mario in the cartoons. I learned something new. Now you're thinking Peter Cullen as an Optimus Prime? Yes, him. Back in the early 80s, CBS had if you remember, if you were an 80s kid or even a 90s kid, Saturday mornings, you had like the Saturday morning cartoons. It was like Fox Saturday morning cartoons or NBC. It was like that. And sometimes they had like themes and names and stuff. In the early 80s, they had what was called CBS Saturday Salvacade or Arcade or something like that. And there was a Donkey Kong cartoon. And Peter Cullen was the original voice of Mario. Now, I barely remember that cartoon, but the earliest video game cartoon I do remember is Q*bert. And I actually enjoyed that because the series actually took place in the 50s, so I thought it was kind of cool. So, But it was modern, but it was like 50s vibe. But, anywho, it's on YouTube. Look up Donkey Kong, CBS Saturday Morning Donkey Kong. You'll find a few episodes, and if you watch the credits, you'll see Mario as Peter Cullen. And I thought that was kind of cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, we're gonna move things right along. So, whoops, wrong button. There we go. I need to move the mixer a little bit closer to me. There we go. So, Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day?
Well, besides dealing with Damien and getting ready for convention, yeah, that's basically it.
I totally get you.
Yeah, I've been playing Pokemon Sleep and Pokemon Go and reading smut. That's my normal though, so I'm failing in Final Fantasy X because I keep going into places that I really shouldn't be going into and dying.
Somebody's a glutton for punishment.
Well, I'm going through right now and trying to capture all of the main beasts. The problem is now that I'm at this point, all of the Dark Aeons are out. And this is like uber bosses, like 800,000 health point is the weakest of them. So I keep going into those areas and I'm nowhere near where I would need to be to actually take on those Dark Aeons. So I keep dying, and every time I die, I kind of kick myself because I forgot to save before I went into the area because I know where all of these freaking things are. So basically all of my captures up until that point have been for nothing. So yeah, I was very happy to not have to pick that up this weekend and work on it. But that will be probably tomorrow night and Thursday night, maybe Friday night. And so I want to get it done because I want to start playing 10-2. Just because I know it's a very horrible game, but I absolutely love the dress spheres in it. But it was not a very well thought out sequel.
People have said the same thing about Final Fantasy 13-2 and 13-3.
Yeah, but this was bad. Like noticeably incorrect translations, things like that, like things that probably should not have been released at that point.
Well,
I know that they were actually planning on doing a 10-3.
Well, didn't they fix?
Happy they didn't.
Well, didn't they fix the translations?
They might have. I was watching somebody playing it that was playing the original game and not the remake. So I don't know if it's fixed in the remake. That's the one that I have.
Right.
When I get into that, I'll see how bad it is. He was also playing on Steam, and I will be playing. He was playing on Steam, the original version. I will be playing on Switch, the remaster version.
Right. I think that's the version that came out to Steam. I think. Don't hold me to that.
Master?
Yeah.
Oh, then that's what he was playing, and if that's the case, they weren't all fixed. We were in chat making fun of some of the translations.
In a way, that reminds me, like, my friend Ari is here. She's actually playing through FF7, and hers is modded. There is, like, a quote-unquote official voice actor's version of FF7. Not remake, but the original that she's been playing through. I was like, huh.
Yeah, if I were playing on the computer, because at the same time that I'm playing 10, I'm also playing 7. So if I were playing that on the computer, then I would, go ahead and download the mods and everything. But I'm, again, playing on my Switch just because it's easy and I can carry it around and still play.
Fair.
Oh, no, the 10 and 10-2 I have on Xbox, not Switch. 7 I have on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But 7 I also have on PlayStation and PSP. And what else did it come out on? Because I think I've picked up 7 every time it comes out on something that I have.
PlayStation Portable, PC, Xbox, PlayStation. I think it hit PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, maybe I have it for Xbox too. I don't know.
Did you digitally download 7, or did you purchase like the physical card?
No, 7 I digitally downloaded.
Yeah, because I know you can actually purchase the game card that comes with 7 and 8. I think it's an Asian release, but it's all in English, and thankfully the Switches are region free. Nintendo learned their lessons from the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I'm just salty because if I was playing them through Steam, they all have cheats. So I'm salty that I'm not playing on the computer just to be able to use cheats.
Of course.
What? It's my game and I should be able to play it however the hell I want to. And if I want to play with cheats, then I should be able to play with cheats.
Oh, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But the big cheat that everyone plays FF7 for is already going to happen in remake and rebirth. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no way. Just because they have saved other characters that should already be dead and are now not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But considering that Aerith's actual love interest is still alive, this should be able to get all of these shipper wars done and over with.
Are you kidding me? That's just adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah, well, I don't even care because I'm all about the yaoi. So
You just want a three-way. You just want a three-way with Zach, Cloud, and Vincent.
yeah, I wouldn't say no to
Mm-hmm.
like that, but yeah, I do like Cloud and Vincent together.
See, there you go.
I think they're very fitting. Although most people, when they ship Vincent with somebody, it's either Yuffie, who that's creepy because she's very young, or Sid,
Sid is too
which,
much of a manly man, which means he's a bottom feeder.
yep, pretty much.
Oh wow! All right, so my weekend days been kind of similar. Doing a little bit of gaming and getting ready for Shikkaricon this weekend. So the trek down there was kind of interesting for me, but we'll get into that when we talk about the con itself. Other than that, things have been pretty good. Let's see. I actually had to buy a special adapter for my PC. Well, here's the thing. When I did the rebuild, I have like a special controller box that handles all the fans and the RGB and all of that. And it handles everything except for the RGB strips. So I had to use a different controller box for that, which means I have no free ports for my USB 2.0 ports on top of my desktop. I don't use them, but I don't want to plug into it and just have it not do anything because I might just need to drop something on a flash drive real quick. So I got a special adapter that splits the internal headers and powers it so that it works. I had something like that on here before. If you can see on the screen, it's a little PC board with the connectors on it, and that's basically what it is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. I think this works if you're just putting in for additional USB ports for flash drives or something, but it needed power, so I got that, and that's up and running. And I think let's see, I formatted my old 1 terabyte NVMe. That's going to go to a new home. My old Corsair cooler is about ready to go to a new home, but as I'm packing it up, I'm missing a fan. And I realized I might have sent it to Barry by accident a couple of years back before she got her tower and she was rebuilding her machine. So, excuse me. I went ahead, found found a replacement fan on eBay for $10 because I wasn't paying $20 for it on Amazon. No, so that's all said and done. And I had reached out to Corsair. Evidently, my new cooler supposed to have like a different connector adapter to keep the AI like the cooling part on the processor. It came with a different type, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't get those. So hopefully I can get the proper parts. But it can't. But I'm using the older stuff. It still works just fine. But the way you hook it on there, you could accidentally damage the board if you're not careful. This one allows you to screw it in properly without having to use hooks. So that's all said and done. Also, if you notice, you don't see the blue curtain because the weather has been pretty nice today. So I'm actually have the curtains open. The front door is open. I'm probably going to open up the side panel here and just get a decent breeze in here. So it's it, and that's that. So that's been our weekend day. So now we're going to go ahead and get into our housekeeping. Don't forget, episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on YouTube. YouTube.com/Anime Jam Session. All you have to do, once you go there, click on playlists and then podcast VODs. You'll find it. Episodes go up Thursdays at 12 noon, so definitely check that out. I have to remind myself to automatically link the page, my YouTube, to let y'all know episodes are available. Conventions. Our next convention is either Murioku Con in Baltimore, Maryland, which is September 29th to October 1st, or it'll be AAC, another anime con, which is October 20th to the 22nd. Then after that, our final con of the year will be Anime NYC, unless there's another small convention that pops up in our area that's to be checking out. So there you go with that. So now we're gonna get into Geek Roundtable. This is where we talk about the geekier aspects of our lives. And like I said, we had some interesting adventures. Bonds of 06 says WinterCon is no more. I believe it is. It's still a thing, but I have no idea. If if WinterCon is a thing, then I will definitely check it out, and most likely I will probably just book a room to go because I don't feel like spending like 90 minutes on the subways going back and forth from my house to the hotel. So I'll have to definitely look into that. So refresh this. All right, so Maka, why don't you share to the world what you have there?
Yeah. So, I didn't go into the dealer's room, and we'll get into why I didn't go into the dealer's room. But there was a mall across the street from where the convention was, and so we went to have dinner at the mall on Sunday before going back. And there was a record store, and me looking to start, a decent record collection for my lounge. Went in there, and then this was pointed out to me, and since it has been on my wish list and it was cheaper than what I could have gotten it for online, I said fuck it and picked it up. So I now have the 30th anniversary vinyl Sailor Moon collection.
Which, by the way, if I can grab mine, whoops, something fell. We both have it now, so that's kind of cool. Now, the difference is I actually paid the same price that Mako-chan did for hers, but she still came out on top because I think I paid up to like $20 shipping because I imported it. And what was interesting was it was available on Amazon, but it was the price that they was basically charging the retail price plus shipping as one, and it was more expensive. So I ended up ordering it from PlayAsia. So
yeah, I like this just because not only is it pink vinyl, it is crystal pink vinyl. So it's see-through.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember. I actually opened mine up and took pictures of the vinyl. So
yeah,
I think it's more. Yours is pink. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I think mine is the collector's version. For those of you who are listening to the show, I went back and grabbed my album, and I'm pulling it out of the plastic to double check. Because for those of you who are listening, Mako's album, the records are a crystal pink, right? That's what you said, right? Crystal pink? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Mine is also crystal pink. All right, I'm going to put that back in. Okay, yeah, crystal pink. All right. For a second there, I thought it was like one was red and one was blue or something like that. So that was my mistake. And here's the thing. I am not going to be listening to this album. Even if I had a record player, I would not play this because this is more for a collector's item for me. Now, if I were to come across a second one at a lower cost, fair game. Honestly, I would not mind a CD release of that, which reminds me, I think in the next couple of months I will be getting the Super Mario Brothers movie soundtrack. The album, I think I ordered it, the CD and the vinyl, so that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, now that I actually have a record player, I really want the Steven Universe vinyls.
You want the what now?
The Steven Universe vinyls.
Oh, okay.
Because the physical soundtrack for Steven Universe came out on vinyl.
Oh, okay.
CD.
That's pretty cool.
So now that I have something to play it on, I want it.
Mm-hmm. And where'd you say you'll put your record player? Out in the den or in the outside?
It's gonna be in the bar and lounge area.
Oh, okay.
So I'll have my stereo system that has the tape player, the cassette player, and the CD player, and then I will also have this connected to the same speakers so that I have this. My record player has the ability to do vinyl, and it's also Bluetooth.
Oh yeah. Because I was going to recommend that for your outside area. Well, Bluetooth is good. I would say like another set of speakers with a switch, and you can just flip back and forth.
I don't think I need it, just because it's not like it's going next to the door.
Right. Well, I would say you would need it if you go out there frequently and you're listening to music and so forth. You know.
I think even if I just have the door open.
Okay.
It's screened-in porch, so I can have the door open.
I know, but I figure if you put two speakers in the screened-in porch, you get better. Or you know how a bit of an audiophile I am.
Yeah, I know you're a pain in the ass.
Screw you. All right. Nemesis 47 says, any recommendations for record vinyl players? I'm going to say Audio Technica only because I saw that they have one out when I was at Micro Center, but that's going to run you a couple $100. Honestly, just go on Amazon. You can find a good record player anywhere between $50 and $100. It all depends on the style, the features, and so forth. You can find just a standalone record player, or you can find one similar to what Mako has. It has a built-in tape deck.
No, the one I have is just the record player and Bluetooth.
Okay.
I have an actual stereo too.
Okay, so you're gonna connect it to the that's right.
Yeah, I'm connecting it to the stereo speakers.
Yeah, there you can find ones that have built-in tape deck, radio tuner, equalizer, all of that. It just depends on what you're looking for and the space that the space you have set up. So
Let me see where mine is.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered mine through. Yeah, so mine was $72.
Okay.
But that was the record player
and
the stand for it.
Oh, okay.
Separate stand, and the stand holds the records.
Nice.
So both of them combined was $72.09.
Very nice. So for my Geek Roundtable, I'm one episode behind on Yohane the Parhelion Sunshine in the Mirror, because I tend to watch that on Wednesdays, but depending on how things go today, I might watch it tonight. I'm caught up with Masamune-kun's Revenge R. I started Atler Ryza, and I have to say, the artists knew what they were doing. They absolutely knew what they were doing for fan service. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you'll know after you watch the anime opening sequence. You'll know then. Let's see. I'm caught up with Mushiko Tensei, which is, I believe, I have to say, this become one of my favorite isekais. I would say it's right behind ReZero. I've watched a few others, but not as good as this or ReZero, so I'm really enjoying that. Also, like I said, I have a lot of figurines and stuff that I have purchased I have yet to talk about, but I'm going to hold off on that because while I was at Shikkaricon, I went to the Happy Studios. I went back and gave them more of my money, so I bought 3 pins. 2 I gave to Mako, and the third one I have right here, and because of the purchases, it comes with a bonus mystery pin, which is kind of cool, and I'm opening it right now, and let's see who we have. Looks like a Goth Death, which is pretty nice. But the other pin that I purchased is for our friend Michelle, who's a friend of the show. Y'all know Michelle Knotts, who voices various Pokemon. And I decided to get her a pin of her favorite Pokemon.
That's cute.
Yep. Piplup. So, next time we hang out, I will just hand that over to her. She'll love it. It'll be something she could put on her Persona 5 travel bag. All right. So now we got that out the way. We're gonna go ahead and talk about Shikkaricon 2023. All right. So before we continue, I want to put a disclaimer out there. To summarize, I used to be friends with one of the co-chairs of this convention. We had a falling out years ago. It was more him than it was me, but it is what it is. A couple of people I know who staff that asked if I can review this con without any bias. And to be perfectly honest, yes, I can. Because I can put my personal feelings aside to discuss this convention. Now, be forewarned. We have a lot to talk about regarding this convention. You may not like a lot of it, but please understand we're just telling you how we feel and ways that can be done to improve this convention as a whole. So, I guess I will go first, unless you want to talk about your experience being at the con first.
Yeah, because I really didn't do the convention.
Mm-hmm.
I was planning on it. I went out there, hung out with everybody. It was nice to hang out with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hotel was great. It was nice that it was suites, so we had a nice big hotel room. But like something just didn't sit right with me based on the price. And I've been going to conventions for years, and I'm not against shelling out money for going to conventions. What I am against is conventions that really shouldn't be selling as high as they do, but they have to because they're in a hotel and they have to make the hotel money to, they have to rent it out and everything like that. So, I mean, they have a set amount that they have to give to the hotel, and the convention has to base part of its ticket sales on that issue. I think should this have not been, I don't think this con should have been in a hotel. One, it was not big enough to be in a hotel. So I don't know if this was just something that fell through because of, maybe they had it set already to be in this hotel before the pandemic. I don't know. But a weekend badge, picking it up, and the weekend is just Saturday, and the convention is the main things are only open from 9 to 9 on Saturday. And then Sunday, which is 9 to 5. They had one panel room the entire time. They had panelists that didn't show up. They had a game room that was basically just borrowing consoles from staff, which again, I don't.
Wait. They actually had another company coming in with gaming consoles, so they weren't borrowed from staff.
Okay. Well, still, it's it's console gaming. They had no tabletop gaming because, of issues from last year. But you don't punish your attendees for crap that happened. You could have very easily set up a table so that somebody could just sit down with their own games and have people come and play with them. Anything. But for the weekend, it was $50, and I did not think that what the convention was offering was worth $50. There were no guests, again, one panel room, and I feel that if they would have had it off-site instead of in a hotel, that it would have brought down the badge pricing and would have made more sense on what they had. Because the convention is not a large convention. They had 400 people there.
I was about to go check about the numbers.
Yeah, maybe it was 600, but it was it was a low amount, not enough to be in a hotel. So I think that was my issue, is they moved into being in a hotel quicker than they should have. I mean, the area itself was great. I liked having the mall right across the street, but the badge pricing was because of the hotel, not because of what they actually were doing. And that's not how you should be having your anime convention be priced.
Okay. So I won't rebuttal what Mako-chan said about the con being in a hotel. But in a way, she is right. But also, this convention started on a college campus. For those of you who don't know, Shikkaricon was founded by one of our staffers, Wild Spice. But due to real life and so forth, she stepped down from the convention and handed the reins over to her second in command to run the show. That was part of the reason why we went. We knew that she wasn't going to be there this year, but it was her convention. Now, we didn't go last year, and I heard it was nothing but good times across the board, and they had decent numbers. I have not seen these numbers, but I'm just going by from what other people had told me.
And yeah, it was in the same place too last year.
Now, 2020, there wasn't one. We went in 2019 when it was at a yoga studio or something like that in downtown Philly. And we had a pretty decent time. The hotel kind of sucked, but, it's downtown Philly thing,
It was in a community center.
Community center? Okay, yeah. It's sort of like, grabbing a hotel room in New York City. So if you know, you know. Now, the space for the con could have been better. Like, the gaming room was in 2 conference offices. And these are basically small offices. Think of it as like, if you ever stayed in a hotel room at the Days Inn across the street from the BCC for Otakon, that's how big it was. And they had 2 of those rooms for tournaments. Now, upstairs in the open atrium area, that's where the normal gaming was, and it was all PlayStation gaming. Now, I understand people prefer PlayStation over Xbox. I get that. But still, a variety would have been nice. A classic console would have been nice as well. I mean, I'm all about keeping it legal, but honestly, a small con like this, showing up with a little PC with emulators and ROMs, I would have been perfectly fine with that because they're rebuilding, But this was handled by a third-party company called Origin of Play. Now, I would say that they did have a guest this year, same guest they had last year, a cosplayer by the name of Miss Chang. I've known her for years before she got into cosplaying. She was a fitness instructor, fitness model, and so forth, and got into the pop culture and has been following ever since. She had a table in the dealer's room, Artist Alley, but the con never properly promoted her. I saw on the site where they had the information, but they didn't list her table there, which was kind of messed up. Another thing, they really didn't advertise or promote. It was like as if they left me in charge to run the convention. And now y'all know how I am when it comes to running updates for the website and the podcast and so forth. Instead of me doing it's just me doing it for a website. It wouldn't be that many updates. Now, I had another issue. I inquired to the convention twice about press badges. I understand not every small convention has them. There have been a couple of cons where they've said, well, we can give you a discount on the badges, or they've said, well, we can't afford them, but if you pay the regular, we'll give you press back. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm not one of those that's like, we're here to help out the small and little guy. Now, according to the head of registration, he responded, I never got them. I checked my junk mail. I actually checked the mail console and went back a little bit further than 30 days. I didn't see anything from the con. Whether it actually was sent and it just got blocked, or they never, either or. I never got it. Now, the hotel is in a DoubleTree Suites and Inn and Suites, and is basically a repackaged Embassy Suites because it's basically built the same way. I like the fact that it's like an open air type of hotel, which I like. For those of you who remember when Anime Next was in Secaucus, the Meadowlands, the Embassy Suite, that's basically what it is, but smaller and with cookies. Now, again, I don't agree with the price of $50 for the weekend. Honestly, it should have been $40 at least, right off the bat.
Okay, so just to chime in, last year's numbers were $550. This year's numbers were $400.
Oh, Jesus. Nemesis 47 says, so basically it was the Anime Con version of the Dash Con minus the ball pit. No, they weren't out here begging for money for the following year, so it wasn't that. They weren't begging for money. Now, right next to the dealer's hall was a closed off another, I would say, conference room. That could have been used for the game room. They could have done that. They used another meeting room for the cosplay contest. Now, they didn't post the rules of the contest, which is probably another reason why not a lot of people didn't show up, because it was more like a hall cosplay contest for how it used to be back in the day, where it didn't matter if you bought the costume or if you made it. Everyone got a fair judging at it, because there was a cosplayer who cosplayed Mari Makinami who won an award, and she had a PVC plug suit. I don't know if she bought it, and I don't know if she actually made it. If she actually made it, it was great. Now, as it says in our chat here, a friend of mine, Sunflores, hi Sunflores, good to see you. She basically said, last year's contest was poorly ran and a waste of my time. Now, I will say this. There are some cosplayers that are like, oh, this con? What's the cosplay like? What are the rules like? And I don't like that. I don't think you should judge a convention based on the cosplay alone or the cosplay contest alone. You should go. Check it out. If you're not sure, just go. Don't compete. Just get a feel for it. But in this case, I can kind of understand, because there weren't any rules listed and so forth. You don't know. There are people who will sandbag conventions just to build up the number of awards that they've won. So now, I think there's a total of like 10 or 15 people that were staffing. Now, what's great about having an open air gaming area, you can hear people having fun and talking and gaming. The downside is people who are not with the convention wanting to know what's going on. Now, that area was shut down early because some parent with their two little crotch droppings let their kids go into the game room and play with the controllers and almost damage them, or scream and yell and throw stuff. And the parents are just standing there watching like, oh, look how good our kids are. Put your children on a leash. If they can't behave in public, put them on a leash. Seriously. Now, Sunday, they did have the game room area set back up. That was okay. But to go back to guests, Miss Chang was there this year, but they didn't promote her as a guest, which kind of surprised me. But also, there are a few voice actors who are in the area that could have appeared. Greg Hauser is a well-known voice actor and voice engineer, audio engineer. He is a very smart dude. There are panels he could have done. Again, another friend of the show, Michelle Knotts. She is a voice actress. She lives about an hour. She's local, basically. They could have asked her to show up. And even if she didn't want to do it in person, they had the tech to do it via Zoom or Skype or Discord or whatever. That would have been great as well. And to go back to the whole one panel room, yeah. I understand there are some conventions are doing away with video rooms and so forth, but it would have been nice to have a second room that could have been videos or another bunch of panels or videos and panels, you know? And yeah, I do know one of the panels nobody showed up for. I know the person. They never said why. Didn't ask. Not my business. Dealer's room was good. It was mostly an artist alley, people bringing their homemade goods and wares, which is great. But it would have been nice to see somebody selling t-shirts or some anime. You know, that would have been nice. That, along with, you have somebody selling Japanese snacks and drinks, somebody selling some really nice made patches and pins and cups and mugs. I mean, yes, there was somebody selling Lolita shoes and shirts and so forth, but, you know, not shirts, cords and outfits, but, you know. And as Sunflora Des, who I'm assuming, yeah, they did go last year, says the con sounded like it was just a repeat of last year, very meh. See, you have to understand something. Me, Mako, Sunflora Des, Ari, Barry, Cinnanite, bunch of us, we are veteran convention goers. We know what to expect when we go into a convention. We also know what not to expect when it's a first year con. We do not try to put newer conventions up where, oh, you need to do all of this. No. To me, if you are running a convention, you got to have the base elements. You know what would have made this convention a lot better? 2 panel rooms. That would have been great. And like I said, you could probably have one of the panels doing from 8 to midnight anime movies or something like that. You could have done that. You could contact Crunchyroll and get a license to put stuff to stream to watch. That would have been great.
Yeah, Crunchyroll basically says, all right, as long as it's on our app, you can go ahead and stream it at the convention.
There you go. There is that, you know.
But a lot of conventions are going away from streaming video because people aren't watching video.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be a staple in these smaller conventions,
yes,
because it gives something for, you know, the littler kids to do.
Mm-hmm.
It gives something for the people that really aren't interested in, you know, going to panels, something to do.
Mm.
So, I mean, for a small convention to not utilize having something that is free to give itself more oomph is very weird for me.
I just find it interesting. People were talking about how, oh, this is my first convention. I am so excited. I'm just like, you poor child. This is not how your first convention should be.
No, but at the same time, it's nice for a first convention to be, you know, small and intimate. But
right.
Again, I think it was overly expensive to be a first convention.
And I also feel the navigation on the website, how to find certain things, wasn't set up properly. Should
the way the website was set up, I did not like it all.
No. And another thing, this is what we always talk about. The fact that small conventions or college-based campus conventions, all right, more of the college campus conventions, the lack of signage. You have a printing department. Take advantage of it. As I was hanging out at the DerpyCon table talking to them, people kept walking up asking if this was registration. This is pickup. There's a giant sign that says DerpyCon right on the table. There was a smaller sign behind him that said registration. I don't know. They could have been better. There could have been a couple of signs around that says, this is where you are, this is here, and this is there, and go. And that's how it should have been. There was no background music for the masquerade, cosplay contest, but don't worry. I have some music that I will be throwing in, so I hope you'll enjoy that. So I did get some great cosplay photos. I will say the lighting in that hotel is really good. I've found myself actually readjusting on the fly just to get perfect lighting and so forth. So that I enjoyed. I will say I liked this convention for the sake of photography. This is one of the few cons where I can say that at. But one thing I like about small conventions for me, it allows me to not just walk the floor maybe once or twice. Go to my room and sit down and relax. Go check out a panel and enjoy it. I don't have to worry about missing various cosplayers or anything like that. AAC is a prime example. Their numbers are high, but the way the con is, I can walk the floor twice, go back to my room and have a drink, then go to a panel and it's fine. It's all good like that. I enjoyed that. I actually brought a cosplay with me. Garter belt. I just didn't feel like wearing it, so I didn't. Bonzo06 says, good lighting can make or break event to me. Well, also, there's a reason why I do have a flash. But I will be getting a new camera soon, so it's it and that's that. I will say this. If Wild Spice asked me to give this con another try, I'd have to seriously think about it. It's just how it was run. Outside of that, unless they can get one guest, I don't see a point in returning. And even if they have a guest, I can help them with that. I have a camera. I have a camcorder. Take pictures. I can record stuff. I have a small mixer that I can throw in my bag and take to help with audio or something like that. It's just creativity. I can do that, Now, I do know there were other conventions going on in the area that more people were attending. I will say this. If you're in the Philly area, day trip it. The most you lose if you day trip is $25. Maybe $50 if you find some decent stuff in the dealer's room, or artist room. That's basically what it was. I'm kind of surprised that Operation Hammond was there. So they tend to cover large conventions. I'm not taking away from Operation Hammond because they are invaluable. They're invaluable to the convention community. But a small con like this, they only needed like maybe 1 or 2 people on staff that are first aid certified or something like that. But that's just me. So. And most likely, I know there are staffers who are listening to this, who are getting upset and want to fire back. I will say this. Don't get mad. We have an email address, podcast@animejamsession.com. We have no problem having your con chair or department heads come on and talk about the con and what y'all plan to do to make it better. We have no problem with that. But I'm just saying, this is either worth a decent day trip, or if there's another convention in the area, might as well go to the other convention. But on the plus side, there is a mall right across the street, so quick and easy food, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, you can hook up your consoles to the TVs in the hotel room. There's no lockout boxes or nothing like that.
But Wi-Fi sucks.
Yes. And just so you know, this was a Hilton hotel. I have silver status, which means I get higher tier, faster internet. It was god awful. Trying to watch the Kevin Hart special on my Amazon Fire Stick. I think I got 5 seconds into I turned it off and I put on regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there you go. I would just use it just to check social media, and that's just about it. So, and we do have our actual written report. It's coming soon, so be on the lookout for that one. Now we got that out the way. Mako, would you like to talk about Sanrio mascots?
Sure.
Wonderful. I will go ahead and set that up.
Yeah, so Sanrio is producing its first ever live action television show based on one of its major properties. The series is going to be based on Boss Animals line of characters, which are a series of colorful, fluffy looking animals who have philosophical conversations with various human characters. Introduced in 2021, the characters gained popularity in Japan due to an animated miniseries centered on a pink rabbit named Sakura and her various animal friends that airs on the Japanese animation network Fuji TV and the official Sanrio channel. This looks like my worst nightmare. Anyway, so Sanrio is now developing a live-action series based on the characters in Japan, utilizing colorful puppets and voice acting to bring the characters to life.
So are we talking like PGSM with Artemis?
Yes.
Oh boy!
Yeah. So the company has not revealed any details about the plot, episode runtimes, or potential localization of the show, though Sakura's original voice actress, Mone Kimishirishi, will reprise her role for the series. It will premiere on Fuji TV original VOD service starting later this year. Yeah, this is... Yeah. So it looks like it is set from for fall of 2023 release. And they have not revealed a specific premiere date. But yeah, just it looks... It's quite scary because the rabbit has no nose. Like it looks just like your stuffed animals have come to life and start talking to you, which I mean is great for little kids, but it's quite scary when you actually look at it.
Cedar Berry says, chat room here at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. The cats in PGSM made more sense as far as them coming along everywhere. What cat is coming with you to school on your shoulder? I wouldn't say school, but if Mako could train Damien, he would lay on her shoulders while she works.
Yeah.
Because he really is a bump on a log half the time.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's a little bit frightening to look at the plushie talking to you.
Oh my god, a talking plushie!
It's scary. Especially since It's just fluffy and pink.
Could be worse.
How's that?
A Christmas Story.
Okay.
The rabbit, the pink bunny suit that Ralphie wore.
Yeah.
Imagine that as a giant, talking, fluffy, furry mascot.
No, thank you.
Oh. See, there you go. All right, so our next story is about Urusei Yatsura. It's an anime collab. They're collabing with Baby Phase, and it's going to be quite an electrifying fashion line. And it's going to have what's called light force fabric, which reacts to camera flashes, mimicking Lum's lightning effect. And you've probably seen this type of fabric variously. And if you're in the fandom like I am, you've mostly seen schoolgirl uniforms with this type of reflective fabric that can flash like that. So the fashion brand Babyface has teamed up with the series for a revival of jackets, hats, headbands, and bags made with the light force technology. Thanks to the use of retro reflective material, sort of like the reflective strips on safety vests, but better, these accessories and flash rainbow waves when under a bright light such as the flash of a smartphone. I wouldn't mind I probably would wear a bucket hat. That would be kind of cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, I kind of want the headband,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't mind the bag either.
All right. So what I'm going to do here, I am going to bring up the article in our chat so y'all can definitely check it out. Let me see if I have it set up just right. Let me make some proper adjustments because I wanted to make sure it looks nice. What?
It's almost $30 for that headband.
Oh, well, you're paying for the name more than anything else, so.
Your bucket hat is 143.
Well,
I don't think I need it that bad. The jacket, the windbreaker jacket, is almost $500.
wow. That's.
Ouch.
And here, and as you can see in our chat, in our stream here, you can see the windbreaker, the hairpiece, the bucket hat, and I guess the little purse, and the colors that it goes through. You know, and the reflective light. It's really nice. Then again, I already found out that Rumiko Takahashi is putting out a scrapbook that's coming out in December. That I'm probably going to try to get my hands on.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a collaboration of all of her series.
Yes.
And it has an interview in there with her.
Mm-hmm. See, I wouldn't mind one of the posters. I wouldn't mind that.
Well, yeah, I mean, the stuff with just her on there, with it not being reflective or anything like that, that's cheap stuff. That's what everybody goes for.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like some of the actual merch, and it's just, it is not for me.
And I totally get it. I totally do. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about here is Cowboy Bebop. I believe the movie Knocking on Heaven's Door is returning to theaters, which was a really good movie.
Yeah. So, it is the 25th anniversary. So, for the first time in 10 years, the entire crew from the TV anime alongside the director will be on stage together. They'll be celebrating the 25th anniversary of the series. The stage will be held alongside a screening of the series film, Cowboy Bebop the movie, also known as Cowboy Bebop Knocking on Heaven's Door. The voice actors and actresses will be appearing at the event. So you will be able to meet the voice actors and actresses for Spike, Faye, and Ed. They will also be alongside the series with the writer. The screening is going to be held on September 23rd at Shinjuku Piccadilly in Tokyo. The tickets are going to be going through a lottery system, which will start on September, or a lottery system going through September 3rd, and then the general sales will start after that on September 8th. So yeah, if you're going to be in the area, this seems like it's going to be a really fun event. And I kind of would like to have gone to that.
I just find it interesting because I didn't realize Spike's voice actor is Koichi Yamadera. And for those of you who are Rumiko Takahashi fans, he is the voice of Ryoga Hibiki. So in a way, it kind of makes sense to me. I just find that kind of interesting. So it's basically Ryoga and girl type Ranma running around in space. Oh, I find that amusing. All right. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to get into the part of the show that y'all really like to stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan. Right? Let's take a look here. We're probably not going to read off all of our stories, but we might, depending on how time goes. Let's see. All right, Mako, you get first dibs. I think I know which one you're going to take.
I kind of like all of them for this week, but I think I'm gonna go with the last one.
Shocker!
Well, it has one of my favorite husbandos in it.
Fair, but we know how much you love cats.
Well, yeah, but that's
Well, you know, I think I will take that story. So, Japan has a cat aptitude test to show off how much you know about your feline friend, or in some cases, the slave that the owner to your slave and so forth. You know, because to cats we are people slaves. Here we go. So, in Japan, the word kentai, which means aptitude test or exam, likely brings to the minds of kanji kentai, or kanji aptitude test, which is taken by native and non-native speakers of Japanese alike to demonstrate their knowledge of Chinese characters in Japanese. Those preparing for one of the 12 levels of kanji kentai are likely to purchase study guides and spend some time rigorously preparing for the exam. If they pass, especially one of the highest levels, it's a helpful perk talking point to be added to your cover page, your cover letter. The strong association between kanji and kentai is why there was a brief moment of confusion turned delight when the existence of a vastly different, less well-known aptitude in Japan offered by Nippon Sango, a company which manages several other qualifying examinations as well. Their most remarkable claim to fame has been offering the Neko Kentai, better known as the Cat Aptitude Test. They have been running it since 2017. It is held once a year, and the next year's sitting will be March 24th, and it'll be its 7th edition. And unfortunately, the test is only offered in Japanese. Despite the Neko Kentai's relative newness, 21,439 people have taken this test since its first iteration. In terms of those people are, The data indicates that 67% are female and 33% are male, with the highest age demographic at 35.1% being in their 30s, followed by 21.6% in their 40s, 18.1% in their 50s, and 16.7% in their 20s, followed by 5.3% in their, I say teens, preteens, 10 to 19, and 3.2% in their 60s. Those who take it come from all different walks of life, from humble cat lovers and owners to veterinary clinics and cat cafe workers. In its most basic sense, the Neko Kentai aims to deepen people's understanding of our feline friends. Like the Kanjai Kentai, there's only 3 levels offered, each geared towards different demographics of cat-loving people. You have elementary, which is cat partner, for those who want to enjoy spending time with cats without inducing stress in them. Intermediate, which is cat specialist, for people who are responsible for caring for cats over their lifetime and want to increase their mutual happiness. And advanced, cat master, for people who want to understand cat behavior and feelings, as well as be well informed on medical care and how to prevent stress in cats. So before I continue, Mako-chan, which level test would you take?
I think I would want to start with the beginner, just because I don't know the stuff to be able to do, I guess, the advanced, which I guess vets, and I don't know what would be in the intermediate, which I would assume would be for people that do shelter work. I'm just a fan of cats, so I would go with the lower, and if I knew everything, then I might take it again and go with the next one.
Now, each level of the test is composed of 100 multiple-choice questions with a 60-minute time limit. And we have 3 sample questions. So, Mako, close your browser window because I'm going to ask you.
No, I've already looked at them.
Oh, you're a cheater.
What? I had to read everything beforehand.
It's not an excuse.
You think I would actually not read this shit? Gee, thanks.
Heart. First question is, what's a sign that a cat may be getting fed up with you petting them? A.
It bites you.
What?
I said it bites you.
That's not even a suggested answer.
Which is why I have to take the basic one.
And I see the Beery says it's a catitude test.
Yes, it is definitely a catitude test.
What's the sign that a cat may be getting fed up with you petting them? A. It moves its ears minutely. B. It swishes its tail left and right. C. It clenches and unclenches its front paws. D. It rolls over again and again. The answer is B. It swishes its tail left and right. I never would have assumed that. Question 2. Which of the following is the reason why cats are often said to warm more easily to women over men?
Because they have a shelf to sit on.
Fair.
I mean, you've seen where Damien likes to sit.
Yes, I do. A. Because women tend to talk in a higher voice. B. It's because women have more favorable scent. C. It's because women give treats more quickly. D. It's because women are better at playing with cat toys. And the answer is A. It's because women tend to talk in a higher voice. And the final question that they throw out here. Which of the following is not one function of a cat's yawn? A. It indicates a bad mood and helps to calm the cat down. B. It stretches the jaw. C. It provides relief from a nervousness or stress. D. It summons a princess from a jar.
No, it summons the princess from the bed. Hi, I'm the princess.
Yeah, yes, it does. And that's the answer that they put down. I actually think it's B, stretches the jaw. Oh wait, no, not a function. Okay, I've read that wrong. My bad. So what are the benefits? you can test takers reap if they pass the chosen level of Neko Kente. All successful candidates will receive a customized business card with their name and Neko Kente level, as well as a cute badge in the shape of a cat. And if you receive perfect marks on the intermediate or advanced tests, they can also receive a special certificate to display in your house or by their pet's favorite spot, even though the cats wouldn't care. If that's something that is like right up your alley to test your own knowledge, the registration for the next year's Neko Kente is March 24, 2024. It already began on August 8th, which is International Cat Day. The test will be held in 5 cities across Japan: Sapporo, Tokyo, Nagoya, Osaka, and Fukuoka, as well as in an online format that can be taken on a computer, tablet, or smartphone. Fittingly, the deadline to register is February 22nd, which is Japan's annual Domestic Cat Day. Until September 29th, though, registration fees are slightly discounted at 4,750 yen, which is $32.80. 5,700 yen and 6,800 yen for the elementary, intermediate, and advanced levels, respectively. What are you waiting for? Register meow.
Oh.
All right, Mako.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about one of my favorite husbandos. And no, we're not talking about anime boy husbandos. We are talking about Keanu Reeves. So, Japanese whiskey has become a sought-after drink around the world, impressing whiskey enthusiasts for whom one brand reigns supreme, Suntory. Ever since Bill Murray's character popularized the phrase "for relaxing times, make it Suntory time" in Lost in Translation, a 2003 movie filmed in Tokyo and directed by Sofia Coppola, sales have gone through the roof, with Suntory's Hakushu 12-year and Hibiki 17-year completely selling out in 2018. Now it appears another Hollywood actor has a thing for Suntory, with Keanu Reeves fronting a new 4-part series on Suntory called The Nature and Spirit of Japan, an exploration of Monozukuri with Keanu Reeves. Filmed by Sofia Coppola's brother, Roman Coppola, the series explores 4 elements that combine to make Suntory what it is: Mizu, water; B, beauty; Kabuku, transform; and Hibiki, resonance. The first episode, Water, explores the prime ingredient without which there would be no Suntory whiskey. The episode draws attention to some of the finer points in relation to ice and water and their relationship to making the drinking of whiskey, and the making and drinking of whiskey. But one point they glean over is the stone marker on the site where the company was first founded in Osaka, which bears the name Koto Bukiya and the name of the founder, Shinjiro Tori. Tori entered the industry in 1899 as a wine merchant before one particular fortified wine called Akadama, literally red sphere, took off, leading him to expand the business into a company called Koto Bukiya in 1921. Whiskey making followed soon after, with Tori setting up the Yamazaki Distillery, Japan's first distillery, in 1923, followed by the debut of Suntory whiskey in 1929. It goes on to, what the change of the name of the company and all of that as well. The series of videos focuses on Monozukuri, a word that literally translates to the making of things, but is used to refer to handmade products or craftsmanship. It also explores different Japanese cultural traditions such as washi, Japanese paper; sumi, calligraphy ink; and ikebana, flower arrangement; and toki, pottery. So those topics are going to be in the beauty episode. Keanu Reeves commits a common faux pas by standing in his socks in the genken after taking off his shoes. So in the episode, your socked feet should only touch the inside of the house and not the outside area where the shoes go. requiring a direct step up from shoe to house to avoid dirtying your socks. Reeves also takes a wrong turn when crafting his own blend of whiskey with fifth generation chief blender Shinji Fukio, but his passion for the drink is clear to see, and his passion continues with the third installment, Transform. This episode focuses on the element of magic that all artists and artisans encounter during the process of creating their work. That unplanned flick of ink from that comes during a brushstroke. That's a very weird wording. Well, artisans are able to craft products by drawing on their individual essence and years of experience. The materials themselves have an inherent wonder that takes flight during the process, or in Reeves' words, they find their own voice and expression as the spirit becomes fully realized. The video ends with Reeves making an incredibly salient point that perfectly captures the essence of Monozukuri, or Japanese craftsmanship, the vision of refinement. He quotes what he learned from Suntory's chief blender, saying, "We must think about perfection, but we must know that we will never have perfection." That is quite a lot to think about. So it's an ethos that extends to all areas of Japanese life, from craftsmanship to martial arts, to the custom of omotenshari, the customer service industry, and even everyday relations with the concept of ichigo ichi, literally one life, one meeting, where effort is made to make every encounter as memorable and cherished as possible. The insight into the Japanese mindset is a perfect segue into the last episode of the series, which is Resonance. In this final episode, everything comes together, bringing what we've learned about the past together with the present and discussing its ramifications for the people of today. It's a deep subject that Reeves enjoys delving into, and he does so by expressing some deep and poetic statements about life, even leaving Shingo Tori, the third generation master blender and grandson of founder Shinjiro Tori, bemused with his statement that whiskey can make him want to, quote unquote, walk in the woods and go back to the water. One of Reeves' most profound statements comes towards the end when he says, "The art that you bring to it, the performance, the knowledge, the craft, that's the best of being human." It's a sentiment we couldn't agree with more, and so in this 100th year of Suntory celebrations, we can raise a can of Hakushu and Yamazaki to both the iconic artisans of Japan and the Hollywood heavyweights who spent time getting to know them. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. And it does look like it's just a YouTube little series. So you can go on there and oh no, my YouTube is blocked for some reason.
Oh, because it's probably region locked. That's the only thing I can think of. I can see the screenshots on here, but if I know if I click into it, it probably is blocked.
No, you can sit there and play them from
the article,
but you can't actually
watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's probably because it's region locked on YouTube, but for the article, I guess that's the way it gets around it. So
yeah. But if you do have the ability, it is on the House of Suntory YouTube.
I've never had Suntory whiskey. Maybe I should get a small bottle and try it. Because there's this place on 23rd that I walk by from time to time, and they actually have like a display in the window. So I was like, And another friend of mine, Chris, he swears by it, so I may have to try it out sometime. Oh, and Cedarberry actually thought your anime husbandos were Sam and Dean.
Well, I mean, they are technically anime husbandos, but no.
Yep, you ready to wrap things up?
Very much so. I'm very tired.
Well, in that case, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. We do this for the fun of it. So what we like and don't like, we'll straight up tell you. If you have any questions about the show, ideas, suggestions, and so forth, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We are here to believe you. Check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you can see our weekly podcast, cosplayer tips and tricks, cosplayer interviews, editorials, anime reviews, links to our YouTube page of convention coverage, links to our Facebook page of cosplay coverage as well. All that and more at animejamsession.com. Don't forget to follow our podcast. It's available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, or anything that you use for downloading podcasts. Just search Anime Jam Session, and episodes are available. And what's great is some of these apps will allow for a review, so if you can, drop us a review. We greatly appreciate that. What else do we have here? You'd think I know this off the top of my head by now, but I don't. Don't forget to follow us on our social media, Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Follow us so you know when we're going live and so forth. When we go live, when new articles are going up, videos and photos are going up, and then some. And to everybody who follows us on our socials, thank you so much. We could not do it without y'all. And for those of you who are participating, there are links down below for our tip jar. We have links available to our Stream Elements, Streamlabs, and Ko-Fi. If you want, you can cheer us on with bits. We'd love that. Or you can subscribe to the channel. We've seen that happen too. Give out a gift sub. Every little bit counts and allows us to keep the show rolling, you know? So, last words, Mako-chan.
I am very, very, very tired.
My last words is, one of my managers told me about these new LED lights that can sit on top of the monitor that can cut down on glare. So I've spent an hour at work going through them trying to find the right one. So looks like that's my new project. So that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Ari will be here. Will you be here? We hope you are. So that's it. So I'm Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Awesome. Perfect. This is the part of the show where we fade out and I set everything up on the back end. So, see you next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!